The problem is not just about marriage. The problem is not just about priesthood. The problem is fidelity. The problem is faithfulness. The problem is we cannot trust anymore. We cannot trust anything and anybody absolutely all the time. When you read news, you have to verify whether it is fake or not. When you buy a product giving you warranty, you are not sure how long the product will last. And then the store will say to you, no return, no exchange. Trust. It has become very difficult to trust because even institutions are being destroyed one after another. Destroying the credibility of the Supreme Court, destroying the credibility of the Pope, destroying the credibility of those in authority, and then people in authority linked to cases of corruption bordering on plunder. The question is, who can we trust? Can we still trust? Can we still be faithful? Is there anyone who can still say, I have always been faithful? Our generation is a generation of broken promises, forgotten commitments, and wounded relationships. When I talk to young people, they have difficulty trying to explain that it is all right that my father is not living with my mother and I have another sibling from another wife of my father. Our children are struggling about broken families, broken relationships, husbands and wives with second boyfriend and girlfriend, and then people just say, I don't like to get married anymore. One of the painful statements I ever heard from our youth is, I don't like friends anymore because they just hurt you. You remember the song, if I did not love, I would not have cried. That is the tragic reflection of our age. If I have not loved, I would not have cried. I don't like to make friends anymore. They always hurt me. And even with children, with babies, with infants, do you parents not hear them sometime say to us, but you promise. You promised me you will come home early, we'll go to McDo. You promise you'll give me a toy car. You promise you'll bring me a cell phone. You promise you will give me a new tablet. You promise. And early in life, our children are introduced to broken promises, forgotten commitments, and wounded and crushed relationships. Why should we be faithful? Why is fidelity important? First, fidelity makes you more human. Fidelity makes you more human. If you are faithful to your commitment, if you keep the promises you have made, you will also become fuller as a human being. In the same way that people who cheat, people who lie, people who live double lives, people who hide so many skeletons in the closet are actually less free, less happy, less human. That is the first reason. Fidelity makes you more human. Second, fidelity makes your life heavenly. To fall in love is romantic, but to stay in love is mystical. Only by the grace of God can you stay in love. Romance, you can have that when you fall in love. First time, second time falling in love. But to stay in love with the same beloved, with all the wrinkles and faults, with all the scars, with all the sins, with all the imperfections, to stay loving that beloved is mystical, it is heavenly. Only by the power of God will you be able to do that. That is why the Lord's covenant is expressed this way. I will be your God. You will be my people. In spite of our unfaithfulness, God is faithful. And when you are faithful, no matter what they do to you, you become a mystic, because staying in love can only come from the grace of God, because it cannot be only human love. If it is only human love, it will just be romance. Fidelity makes you more human. Fidelity makes your life heavenly. And the third reason for fidelity, fidelity makes your beloved beautiful. Fidelity makes your beloved beautiful. Because God is always faithful to us. Each time God looks at us, even if we know our faults, God sees the beauty in us and He can be faithful. Our fidelity transforms others. Our fidelity makes others beautiful. Our fidelity makes others lovable, even if in their hearts they think they are not worthy. That is what fidelity does. And when fidelity is broken, you become ugly. And when commitment is broken, everybody becomes ugly for you, because you cannot trust anymore anyone. The Word of God for today is not just about divorce. It is something deeper than divorce. It is our capacity to be men and women of fidelity, to be men and women who are faithful, to be men and women who keep promises, who remember commitment, and who refuse to break others and wound others by their infidelity. We can do it only by God. I say it again, to fall in love is romantic, but to stay in love is mystical. And only by the power of God can you stay in love. Stay beautiful by being faithful. Experience heaven and earth by being faithful. See beauty around you by being faithful. Faithfulness is heavenly. It makes all of us more beautiful.